Hey guys, if you're watching the recording, thank you so much for jumping on. I have quite a few people who said they were going to try to jump on tonight, so I am going to give people just a couple seconds to jump on, and then we're going to go ahead and get started talking about putting yourself on the priority list. All right, I see some people jumping on here live. So I am going to get started. Thank you guys so much for joining us for our Tuesday wellness tip. Today is a little bit of wellness in kind of the mental health part of being well. I know so often we don't think of taking time out for ourselves to be anything to do with our health and wellness, but you guys, you can exercise, you can eat right, you can use really great products, you can do all of that and still not have a really good sound wellness about you, because mental health is such a huge part of the health and wellness of your health and wellness. So this one was super important to me because I know we talked and chatted about getting up early and making a to-do list and getting things done and checked off the list, and so many people have enjoyed that. But I think it's so important to make time for yourself. And we are people pleasers. Our society right now is run, crazy, have these crazy schedules, kids everywhere, and that's great. And we need to do things for our kids and our families and our jobs. But it's not selfish to give to yourself as much as you give of yourself. And you guys, I got caught in this. I'm really busy, and I work a business, and I work a full-time job, and I'm a mom of a little, and I have a husband, and I have a lot of roles. I'm a daughter, I'm a sister, I have a lot of roles. And so, I get caught up in that. And there have been times where I have just completely fallen apart. And a lot of that is because I don't take time for myself. So I just want to share with you guys tonight just some easy tips on taking a little bit of time for yourself and putting yourself on the priority list that you put everybody else on. Because people pleasing can really cause a lot of depression and anxiety and resentment because you don't have time for yourself. And I hear people say all the time, I wish I had time for that. Oh, I wish I could fit that in my schedule. And you guys, I am here to tell you a little bit blunt here that you have to make that time. You have to decide to take a little bit of time for yourself. And I would say, it doesn't have to be hours, maybe 15 minutes a day. Right? Maybe a little bit longer each week. You just take a nice chunk of time each week, but 15 to 30 minutes each day. You have to decide. You have to commit. You have to stop wishing that you had time for yourself, and you just have to make it a priority. And again, that's a little bit harsh, but it's not going to happen if you don't do it. And so I think it's super important, if you are married, if you have a spouse, to communicate the need for this little bit of me time. Because let me tell you guys, when I started communicating that, things get so much better. And now Brian knows how important my me time is. So for a lot of holidays, I get a gift certificate to get my hair done. I get a gift certificate to go to get my nails done. Like an Amazon gift card to buy my favorite books. You guys, things he knows I need for my time, because if I don't take a little bit of time for myself, I can't pour into other people. I just can't. I can't be my best self for other people. So decide to make the time, okay? No more excuses. No more I wish I had time. You have to make the time. And then number 2, you have to decide, what does me time look like? What does that personal time for yourself look like? For me, I love to just take a half hour and be spoiled. Maybe you don't have, the funds to go to the spa all the time. I use Arbonne's really awesome spa line, and I line them all up on the tub, and I take a time out, an adult time out. I use all my spa products. I do a mask on my face. I use my hair mask. It's like a spa retreat, and it's budget friendly because I buy it once. I get to use it all multiple times, and that's my time. Maybe your time is getting a pedicure. Maybe you love that. And maybe you can afford that and you just want to go once a month or once every other week. Maybe your me time is reading and escaping for a couple minutes and just getting caught in a really good book. Maybe it's watching a guilty pleasure TV show. Maybe there's just something mindless that you just love to watch and you just set aside time for just you to watch that once a week. You guys, you have to figure out what does that look like, because I've tried to do me time before where I'm like, oh, I need to go shop for X, Y, and Z. I'm going to take a time for myself. And for me, that wasn't relaxing. It wasn't recharging. So you have to find what is recharging for you. And it might take trying. I know I'm 30 years old, right? I should know what gives me a relaxation or recharging, but I didn't. I really had to try it out and figure out what was relaxing and what wasn't. And I think after I became a mom, that's when I really had to start scheduling the personal time, scheduling me time, because you learn very quickly that everything revolves around those kiddos, right? So the third tip is evaluate your time. So a lot of times people say, oh, I wish I had time to go take 10 minutes for myself. I just challenge you then to evaluate the time that you're spending. Right? So look at your calendar. I am positive that there is time that you waste every single day that you could turn into rejuvenating, relaxing you time. So that could be scrolling on Facebook. You guys, if you want to know, and Instagram and Twitter and all of those social media outlets that we have, it is sickening the amount of time that we look at our phones every single day. So if you just made a quick change and just, stopped doing that for a day, took that time to yourself instead, you could evaluate the amount of time. Maybe you're, doing something that you could pass off to somebody else. Every single day for 10 minutes, you could have 10 minutes to yourself, 15 minutes to yourself every day. But I also want you, when you evaluate your time, to learn how to say no, right? Because there's seasons in life that are much busier. The toddler world is busy. The newborn world is busy. It's also busy when you have high schoolers who need to be driven to all of their sports and you're running around. So you just have to realize what season are you in and how much of yourself can you give. I would love to coach and do all of these awesome things with my time, but you guys, right now, this is not a season for me to do that. And so I have to evaluate my time and I have to say, I cannot do that right now. I'm really sorry. And in Arbonne, we've learned to say, my heart says yes, but my mind right now says no. I just know that that will not fit in my schedule and I'm going to have to pass on that right now. So learn how to say no to things without feeling guilty, because there are seasons in life where things just don't fit. And you need to make sure that time for yourself fits so that you can be your best self and you can give your best self with everything that you're doing, being a mom, working a business, being at your full-time job, whatever that looks like. Just make sure that you are being able to say no and keep your priority list where it needs to be. My tip number 4 is ask for help. You guys, that was so hard for me. It's still hard for me. I am a control freak. I am type A, right? But I think asking for help, giving over some of that control is so important. So at work, are there things that you just like just so, but sometimes you got to hand it over and let somebody else take it on, right? Then you don't have to take that work home tonight and you get your 15 minutes to read that book you've been dying to read. Or maybe it's, you know what, I really would love to watch this show for 30 minutes, but I didn't get, lunches packed and things done tonight because I didn't let anybody help me do that. Ask people for help. Let them help you. Maybe ask, where could I fit in a half an hour to go for a jog tonight? Work with your spouse, work with the people you live with to make that a priority. Number 5, you guys, this is so important. This is the last one. You actually have to schedule me time. It's so crazy. I remember even before I had a kiddo, even though I was working and running a business, I still had me time. Once we added that kiddo into there, and I know some of you watching this have 4, 5, 6 kiddos, but once that one kiddo appeared, the me time was gone. And so you have to schedule it. You have to make it a priority, you guys. So a lot of people I know started getting up earlier after we had that chat about getting up earlier, getting up that 45 minutes earlier so you have time to sit and drink your coffee or have your shower and dry your hair without a little one in the shower with you, or read that book. That 45 minutes you could get up earlier before anybody else in your house, so you have that quiet alone time where you can do what it is that you need for your me time. Or maybe you leave work on your lunch break. Maybe your work environment is toxic and people are negative, and trust me, I've experienced this. Maybe that's when you go take your walk. Maybe that's when you go sit in a quiet place and read your book for a while, or do some things during lunch, some errands that you don't have to do later so you can have your me time. I used to tell myself I will not let myself waste time watching that mindless TV unless I'm on the treadmill. And then I would get on the treadmill and pop it on my phone because I allowed myself to have that guilty pleasure of that little TV show when I was doing something positive. So make a little contract with yourself. You guys schedule a monthly girls' night, okay? Schedule a guys' night. My husband and I both try every month to at least do one girls' night and guys' night separate, and just take that time out, and the other one handles everything at home that night, because it's just so important to have that time with your friends. So I am telling you, as crazy as it sounds, that increasing your me time, I'm not talking about being selfish and locking the door and saying, I need to watch my 2-hour movie every night. That's not what I'm saying, but just scheduling that little bit of personal time to just relax, recharge your batteries, and be ready to go for the next day, or be ready to go for the day that we have at hand. It will increase your health and wellness, you guys. I promise you. So if you have any tips, if you have anything that you do in your family to get away for that 15 minutes a day, or maybe it's an hour a week that you just spend on your own, what do you love to do? If you could do anything, would it be go to the spa? Would it be read a book? Would it be go on a hike by yourself? What would it be? Go ahead and comment below, because I love to hear that, you guys. And I am going to raffle off an item from our brand new Detox Spa line. Even if that's not your top choice of what you would do for me time, it still is going to be awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and raffle that off. So comment below what you would love to do when you get some me time. And I hope you guys have an awesome night. Thank you so much for joining me. I saw a couple of you pop in and out, and I'm excited to hear from you guys. So have a great night, and we will talk to you next Tuesday.